Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Friday, November 8, 2024. Making the headlines tonight, Court takes back party headquarters. SSB CEO says no interference from minister, and man stabbed to death in the south. We take our first break and return with the news in detail. Welcome back. With your news, I am Marisol Amaya. High Court Justice Tawanda Hondora in a closed session today granted the Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Moses Shine Barrow, relief sought in respect of the forceful takeover of the UDP headquarters 2 Mondays ago by the Alliance for Democracy led by Honorable Tracy Panton, who was endorsed as interim UDP leader by a majority of delegates. Today's order meant that with immediate effect, Barrow could get back access to party headquarters and Youth for the Future Drive in Belize City. The Panton executive indicated they would comply with the court's ruling. The matter is set for substantive hearing in January 2025. Barrow is being represented by attorney Emmanuel Williams of the law firm of Glenn Godfrey. In the substantive claim, the court is being asked to decide the matter of trespass, as well as who is the rightful leader of the mass political party. One of Barrow's requests is for a permanent injunction against Panton, calling herself leader of the UDP.
The focus, yes, is on the property, the land issue, while it is that in the main claim the court may also have to address its mind to the interpretation of the UDP's constitution, which is contractual in nature. The main or the fulcrum of this case had to deal with the property rights. However, the court today did express that it did not express a view or a ruling as to the ownership or any rights vested in the property. It was simply possession. Today only dealt with the possession of the property. But in order to repossess property, you'd have to go through the proper channels to repossess the property, which was not done in this case. As such, the court emphasized the fact that it is important for parties, if they wish to undertake any repossession or dispossession of property, to pursue a court order.
In relation to that review of the UDP's constitution, will it be that when you continue in court with this matter, there is going to be a pronouncement on whether that Unity Convention on October 20 was valid or not? Will it get there?
That is one of the substantive issues, since everything that flows from that convention or Unity Convention will determine the other issues.
What about what happened before then in terms of the expulsion by the UDP of some of its members?
At this juncture, we're not prepared to discuss the political or factual matrix of the matter, which is currently before the court. But what we can say is that those issues will be addressed at the proper forum.
That's to say, even who can declare themselves as the leader of the United Democratic Party.
Precisely, and because it's before the court, I would urge to say it's an opportune time to not, in fact, declare anyone as a party leader, since it's before the court and has to be addressed.
Notably, Panton appeared unrepresented in court today. Here is how Sheena Pitts, party chairperson under the Panton executive, and an attorney herself explained what went wrong.
We've established that in order to defend this matter properly, we seek and sought the best available, and we decided to identify counsel outside the jurisdiction who would be insensitive to the polarization of politics in our nation. And you made reference to a lot is lost. And I ask you, what is that lot that has been lost? Because as we maintain, the National Convention was held, and by majority, the delegates voted who they want as party leader. That has not been lost. That has not been challenged. And on our footing, we are saying that is the real crux of the matter. A person who cannot accept defeat, and the defeat that he experienced on October 20th, 2024. And so that will be live hereafter. So we haven't lost anything. We have the opportunity proper for the court to appreciate that the real issue is that convention, and appreciating that the convention enjoyed all the procedures as set out in our constitution, and therefore it representing the contract between the members of the UDP and the institution, it ought to be followed.
Pitts today insisted that they can apply to the court to discharge the order made, and they are headed for round 2.
So we have complied from the moment of the order, complied with that order. And like I said before, I end by stating this interim injunction is just that. It's interim, it's temporary, it's not permanent. And we have available to us, as the court has indicated, all ability to apply to discharge that order and all ability to go to the court for declarations if that is where we want to go. And so that is where we are. We avail ourselves with proper counsel. We avail ourselves with the ability to do just that, address the temporary nature of this order and get it lifted. In the meantime, we are law-abiding citizens and we respect the order made by the court, and therefore the order to vacate is being obeyed.
The next court date is January 14 for case management. The Social Security Board now has a new CEO for about 2 months, while for the first time it has a position of deputy CEO. The latter was filled by Jerome Palma, an actuary. While fairly new at the job, CEO Dr. Leroy Almendares affirmed at a media mixer on Thursday that central government does not exert pressure on the investment committee regarding applications for SSD loans by businesses and other entities. He was responding to a question regarding the negative history of the board that led to the requirement after public protests for the publication of any proposed loan.
They're tripartite, and I must tell you, I have attended 2 board meetings since I came on board, and I must say, within the Act, there's an investment committee that scrubs these things, scrubs them. I sit on that committee, and I can tell you that if I don't see something that I think really futuristically look like something that we should invest in, even though I'm ex officio, the law says the CEO should, even though he or she, he says he, but it should be he or she, is ex officio. It doesn't mean you sit there without ensuring that the analysis that is taken before something moves from within the IC and goes back to the board, because a recommendation by the IC should be scrubbed that way, so that there are not much changes when it gets to the board. From the 2 meetings that I've attended, 5 versus 4, that's not what we see. And as far as I see, the minister does not dictate to those 5 and say, well, this one has to go. If that one that you say has to go, but it does not meet the smell test, then it shouldn't go. It shouldn't go. And that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. And that is why when the 2 of us here were recruited, he could tell you how long we were interviewed. That tells me how serious they were. Because for me, we're moving and focusing on the better way of doing things, the way forward. And I can tell you, I don't hear about that interference. I have not seen that interference.
In police news, authorities in the South are investigating the murder of 28-year-old Selvin Humes, a Belizean laborer from Independence Village. Authorities responded to a report at the Independence Polyclinic on Thursday, November 7, at about 9 p.m. Upon arrival, they observed Humes' body with stab wounds. His body has since been transferred to the Southern Regional Hospital, where it awaits a post-mortem. Meanwhile, reports from the Keys are that a man was fatally shot at Secret Beach in San Pedro and Burgess Key earlier this afternoon. The man has been identified as Matthew Moses. Reportedly, he got into an altercation with a caretaker of a property near Secret Beach. The caretaker allegedly pulled out his licensed firearm after he claims Moses approached him aggressively, holding an object. Moses was fatally shot moments later. His body has been transported to Belize City for a post-mortem examination, and police are investigating. Back again in the south, the body of a man was discovered this morning floating in the North Stan Creek River in the riverside area of Dangriga. The man has since been identified as Guillermo Martinez Jr. Reports suggest that the body was observed with gunshot injuries. No further details are known at this time. After the break, SSB officials explain why there is no long COVID classification for sickness benefits yet. Stay with us.
As motorcycle
Welcome back. The news continues. At Thursday's media mixer, Social Security Board officials reported on data showing the key drivers behind sickness benefit claims in Belize. In addressing a question as to whether or not they have started seeing any claims due to long COVID, Sean Sebastian explained that there is a coding mechanism dictated by the World Health Organization that is followed by doctors in Belize diagnosing an ill patient.
We use a data classification system called ICD-11, right? So it's International Classification of Disease version 11. That's the most recent version of that system in the world right now. So we are already using that at Social Security Board. But that paper came out that Jules just said in 2024, right? So they haven't included that sickness code into the International Classification of Diseases system as yet. So as soon as that is done, we will update our system and include that, so the doctors would have that code to correctly classify or identify that the long COVID diagnosis, and then we'll be able to accurately measure and report on the impact that long COVID has had on our population, our working population.
Leticia Vega, General Manager of Research and Development, provided further insight on coding each case.
And long COVID is not a disease, so I don't expect ICD-11 to be updated with a long COVID option, because long COVID really, if it's defined, it's a group of diseases that can be as an effect of the COVID, right? So what we will need to do is look more in terms of in this case, it would be the epidemiological transition of what we have as the different diseases, but maybe further analyze in terms of not only the primary causes, but secondary, tertiary, in those forms that we depend heavily on the doctors, the medical practitioners, to place the correct coding for each case, right, for us to do better analysis. But we do see a movement, and this is worldwide, from the communicable diseases to the non-communicable diseases, where the hypertension and all of these ones lie, right?
In political news, not long after the Tracy Panton executive took hold of the headquarters of the United Democratic Party 2 weeks ago, there were reports that the staff of the party's media organs had not been paid their salaries. We asked Sheena Pitts, who is the chairperson in the Panton executive, to explain what happened.
It's about the status of the employees of the party organs. That is a matter that is open for the nation of Belize to see how Honorable Shine Barrow will deal with it. So I am not the person, neither are you, to say what will happen to them. We will see what happens when Honorable Shine Barrow has an opportunity to address it. 2, on the issue of payment, the party organs are established distinctively, that is the Wave and the Guardian, and from what I understand, there are bank accounts associated that are used to meet salary. Now, those bank accounts carry with them signatories, and the signatories are the persons who sign checks to satisfy salaries. And as I understand it, and was alleged, that those signatories were precluded from signing checks to meet salaries. And so we became aware of that on the morning, Friday morning, when one of the employees of Wave Radio, properly frustrated, disclosed that material fact as he was experiencing it. Now, as you would know, where we have no control over what that signatory does or what that signatory was instructed to do, what we did as responsible leadership was meet the salaries of all employees.
11-year-old Standard 5 student Reja Zuniga recently was chosen as the winner of BEL's annual Safety and Health Week essay competition. Reja is a proud student of Eden SDA Preschool and Primary School in Santa Elena, Cayo. She won herself a laptop and $1,000 and also $2,000 for her school. Principal of Eden SDA Primary School, Sharon Carl Lopez, spoke of the type of student Reja is. We also hear Reja reading an excerpt of her winning essay.
Reja Patillo has been a student who is always involved in things. So she loves competition. She actually won another competition last year as well, and she came in first place. So we ended up getting an award for that as well. But she's a student that is very quiet. She's very respectful, and she's very enthusiastic about making sure others learn about her abilities and, of course, the school.
Distractions such as drinking, answering a phone or text messages, talking to passengers, or paying attention to someone else. When a driver gets distracted and fails to notice a pedestrian crossing the street, this can cause an accident. Speed limits in Belize are reasonable, so drivers should follow them. Be patient and pay attention to avoid accidents.
Carl Lopez said Reja's victory speaks well of the level of education offered at Eden. She said the school always aims to improve.
I know we haven't been out there as much, but we want to change that because we want others to understand that Eden is a place where students grow. We love inclusivity as well. We are there for kids who have autism. We're there for kids who are struggling with reading. We're there for any child. So if you have a child and you want them to grow, this is the place for the child. What we do always want to let people know is that each school has its own challenge, or each school has different challenges, but we are moving forward with the grace of God, and we are always changing. And so whenever we see that there's an issue that can be changed, we change it. But Eden has always been my home. I attended Eden as a child as well. And so when we see kids going out, because if you see Reisha is very quiet, but she stepped out of her comfort zone for people to understand, listen, I am attending Eden Primary School. This is what I am learning. I'm a product of Eden Primary School, and I want people to know about it. And so we're always applauding students who want to shine, who want to ensure that people get to know which school they're attending. Because again, we have schools that are very famous, but then we have the little schools who people don't know about, and Eden is just one of them. But I'm hoping that we can change that in the future.
Carl Lopez said the school used the prize money to help fund a project to replace windows on one of the school buildings. However, more work is needed, and she is asking for the public's assistance to help fund the remainder of the project.
God has been so good to us, and He's working through different organizations. So every year, when we have the rainy season or hurricane season, the wind would blow from building B and wet all the charts in the classroom because of the amount of rain and wind, right? And so we said, this year, it's not going to happen. We have to fix this before the hurricane season. Now, how are we going to do it? We have to pray. And Reisha won first place. And of course, we got money allotted because of that. And if you were looking online, you're going to see that it was $2,000. And so we said, and we went ahead, we bought the windows. We had to pay more, of course, but that helped us to balance off what we needed to pay. And so we were very grateful for that. Yeah, so what we did, we only repaired the back part of the building, but we need to repair the front part of the building. And if anybody wants to donate or contribute anything towards it, listen, I always tell people it could be 1,000 of us, right? One person can give $300, but if 1,000 people give $1, we're going to end up with $1,000 as opposed to $300. So if anybody wants to donate to us, then they can always contact us via our school email, EdenSDAPrimarySchool15@gmail.com, or they can call us at 671-0525. And we can also share the banking information afterwards.
If you would like to assist Eden SDA preschool and primary school help keep their classrooms dry, you can contact the school via WhatsApp at 671-0525. Funds can also be deposited to Belize bank account number 121-167-010-120-001 in the name of Eden Seventh-day Adventist School. In other news, Halima Hoy is in Mexico City competing at Miss Universe 2024, and she has been getting much attention from international pageant blogs and pageant fans. This week, she was featured by Missology out of the Philippines and Sash Factor out of Brazil. Both have huge following and are highly regarded in the pageant world. Destiny Arnold, the national director of Miss Universe Belize, spoke of the preparation behind the scenes and how proud she is of Halima.
She has also been flying out to California with us in the US so that she can prepare for her stage presence and learning how to command that attention in person. And also me imparting my knowledge onto her as someone who has participated in the Miss Universe pageant. I know some of the behind the scenes and the tips and tricks to share with her. And she is taking everything we said. She's like such a sponge, and she is definitely applying the pressure and believes, positioning herself in areas where she's able to get recognized by the fans, the bloggers, the interviewers, and she's just doing an amazing job. And I'm just excited that I'm able to sit back and watch her flourish. I am just extremely proud. We talked the talk in the beginning, and now you're seeing that we're walking the walk. We shared with our vision in the beginning of this entire process to make Belize gain that recognition from the international community, and for everyone to turn Belize into this country that you don't hear that much about, but starting to, make waves in the tourist industry. But now let's also make waves in the pageant industry and globalize the pageant industry within Belize so that we can see that we can introduce new income in Belize because of pageantry. And Halima is just the sweetest, most genuine queen. We call her the Queen of Hearts just because of her ability to connect with everyone and really get to know them on a personal level and make them feel heard and loved and recognized. So just seeing her now spread that love to the international community is just heartwarming. And we're glad that we were able to position her in such a way to be able to.
The beautiful and intelligent Halima Hoy has undergone a transformation not usually seen with Belize's beauty ambassadors. Arnold said that is the result of a lot of teamwork and hard work behind the scenes.
I just want to say that that is the result when we glean from each other and we collaborate and we bring all of our talent together for one goal. I believe that we need to change the way that we handle things as a country and celebrate each other instead of trying to compete against one another. There is room for everyone to win. And I think that Halima's success and her elevation is a product of that. It's a product of her taking my knowledge, taking my experiences, taking Dwayne Moody's creativity, his connection, Keisha's eye for social media, my sister's way of bringing out what her innermost being within her looks, my mom's and Miss Wendy's business sense, and my aunt Janelle Arnold's organization. And that has molded Halima into who she is today. She already gave us a great foundation, but we strengthened that foundation and we built upon it. And that's something that we wish to continue to do and that we will do.
There's more news after the break. Stay tuned. Football Union of Belize and international rugby legends of the 100 World Legends brought the sport of rugby to Stella Maris in Belize City. Today, Acting British High Commissioner Kate Reynolds visited the school and spoke of how she's happy the school still likes the sport.
I don't play rugby, which is now quite bad to admit, but it's lots of things you can do around rugby as well. So it's a fun thing for the children to learn some of the exercises. So I think every child, I think it's something that can be really inclusive, and I think that's really important with sport, that it should be something that we can all do at all levels. So I think the school is absolutely brilliant in all it does to sort of get all the children involved in everything. It's the most joyous place to be and the most inclusive. It's the most inclusive place I can think of I go to, so I love it. So yeah, so in terms of sport, rugby and other sport, really important to make it part of life and everything, and teach the children, get them involved.
In related news, Stella Maris today received a donation of rugby kits and rugby balls from the British High Commission on behalf of SOS Kit Aid, which is a UK-based organisation that distributes second-hand rugby kits to youth globally to help promote the sport. Acting British High Commissioner Kate Reynolds said she loves when she gets to visit Stella Maris.
This is a real treat. So I love Stella Maris. I'm a big fan. So we came here. I was here last time we did some rugby with the children, which was really nice. So we're here today because we've got a donation of some sports kit for the children. So it comes from the charity in the UK called it's SOS Kit Aid. I get this right, and they donate some sports shirts, some kits. I've got a couple of rugby balls. We're still with rugby, so that's for the children here to really to use, and for the teachers to work out how to divide up between the children use. But this school is so brilliant. It's absolutely, they do so much. So, we're really keen that they had some of the kit to use.
They had a gift for you as well.
They did amazing gift. Honestly, this is the treat of my week. So apologies to anyone else I've met during the week. This has been my treat of the week, definitely today. So yeah, I had a performance of Footloose. So the children did Footloose. They did a song. So Footloose, it took me back, reminded me how old I am, because I remember when that film came out. That is so sad, isn't it? But that's true. So brilliant. He was really, really good with his guitar and a bit of dancing. And his two friends came at the end. So we had Footloose. Then we had a song in English and Spanish. So I've learned a bit of Spanish today as well. I'm very poor at Spanish. And then the third one, then we had that was a song, the dance and song as well. So yes, a real treat. And then we all got together, all the children got together, so I got to meet them as well. So yeah, my treat, highlight of my week.
Teacher Sherry Salgado said the donation came in handy, as 3 of their student athletes will be heading to Panama on Monday to represent Belize in sporting competitions.
How do you feel hearing what the High Commissioner had to say about your school?
Well, it's a pleasure to, first of all, have her here. It warms our heart when persons from outside will come in, and we're able to give them that smile, and like Ms. Reynolds have mentioned, that treat, So we're very grateful to have her visit our institution this morning.
And talk about the donation of the rugby supplies.
Well, God works, because on Monday we have a team that we have 3 of our students that will be going to Panama to represent Belize in the Kodakadir game. So these outfits will come in just right for them. And not only the athletes, but other students who participate in different sporting events. So we are grateful for them.
Can you tell us more about the competition?
I know a team of 16 delegations will travel to Panama on Monday to participate in different field events, shot put and so forth.
Staff of Eden SDA Primary School in Santa Elena, Cayo, are already preparing for their yearly Christmas concert. Apart from the talent on display, the students also look forward to receiving Christmas gifts in the school's yearly White Elephant initiative, where each student receives a gift. Principal Sharon Carl Lopez is appealing to the community to help them achieve their goal of 1 gift per student.
I don't know if you've heard about the toy drive that we're doing for this Christmas concert that is coming up, but listen, the collection started yesterday. So if there is a toy, listen, we have something that we call a white elephant, right? You might not want it at your house, but somebody else will appreciate it. It's in good condition. It's probably new as well. It has a tag on it. You wrap that thing and you put that there and you write, okay, it's for a student from age this to this. It's a female student, and we're going to give that to one of our students. So if you have anything that you can give us, we will appreciate it. We're trying to get gifts for all our students. I know it's a lot. It's about 324 gifts, but we can do it with the help of the community. Okay, so right now we are catering for kids from ages 4 to 13. And the drive will end December 11 because the Christmas concert is the 12th, and we normally give it out right after the concert. So we always ask people to try to donate their gifts and pack them as soon as possible, because what we have to do is to organize them, and we have to organize them by class and by student as well.
If you would like to donate Christmas gifts to the students, you can contact the school via WhatsApp at 671-0525 or their email, edensdaprimary15@gmail.com. Funds can also be donated to help purchase gifts. Their Belize bank account number is 121-167-010-120001 in the name of Eden Seventh-day Adventist School. And the second annual Energy Fair was held at the University of Belize Central Campus in Belmopan on Thursday. The event was organized by the Ministry of Public Utilities, Energy, Logistics and E-Governance, along with various stakeholders. Minister of said ministry, Honorable Michelle Shabat, said the goal of this year's fair was to bring awareness to the energy sector and its stakeholders with a focus on reaching young people.
So we have a cross-section out here. We have BL, of course. We have Caribbean Motors, who are showcasing their line of electric vehicles. We have the banks who are offering loans in terms of energy projects and e-vehicles. So there's a good cross-section of representatives out here from the energy sector. I know we have the Belize Port Authority, we have the Post Office, and I guess they're here to show energy, how energy efficiency and how best they're using energy to conserve and so forth.
And how important are these types of fairs to show the public, what the energy sector is doing?
Yes, I mean, that is the whole purpose of this fair, really, to bring home the importance of what's happening in this sector and to sensitize the public as to what is happening.
And with that, we have come to the end of our newscast. A repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again Monday at midday. Join us again Monday for another news broadcast. I am Marisol Amaya. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend.
Thank you.